Hi guys, Elle here. This is a video response to Elle Jacobs' video about mini tarot decks and her tag, I guess, of like, what's in your wallet? And I always wanted to make a video response because I thought it was such a great video and a really fun topic, and I finally got around to doing it. And I also just thought it was really cool how in Elle's video I saw a lot of myself in it, and in how she transports things and why she likes to always have a mini deck on hand and all that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd give you guys a little tour of the mini decks I have, or mini decks that I created by trimming the fuck out of some decks. So just like Elle, I really love kind of always carrying a deck around with me. I usually have like a lunch break at work where I can go sit upstairs and either study or read or whatever I want to do. And it's also just cool to be able to whip out wherever you are if somebody wants a spontaneous tarot reading or for whatever reason. I always, sometimes I lie and tell people I don't have it if I don't feel like doing it, but I pretty much always have at least a mini tarot deck on hand. So it's also super important that when I throw it in my purse, because just for every day I have a separate bag actually that I'll keep, you know, what do you call it, like a cloth and crystal and, you know, notebook and all that kind of stuff for going out and actually doing a tarot reading. But for just throwing something in my purse every day, because I always carry a jump bag with me, very important that I don't ruin my deck. You know, you could throw a bottle of water in your pocketbook and that condensation could leak out through. I would never just throw a bag like this, or what else do I have here, like one of these see-through bags into my purse, because you never know. It could get shit on it. It could get bent. It could, especially the water or liquid getting on it, that would destroy me. So I have this little bag. This is actually like a Dr. Scholl's bag where those little flats came in, but I tore out the inner lining so it wouldn't like scream Dr. Scholl's. But it's like the perfect size for carrying around a mini deck. What's in here? Oh, sometimes I have a little crystal that I keep in there too, just like Elle. I think she did the same thing, little quartz. If it doesn't fit in there, it doesn't fit in there. I don't give a shit. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But it does fit every single one of my mini decks perfectly. If for some reason I do want to take a full-size deck with me, I have a bunch of these bags. Now this is like a makeup case basically. I think it's an Aveda makeup case for your brushes and makeup and whatnot, but I like it because it's really plasticky. I suppose something could seep through the top, but it's, you know, it's pretty unlikely. I have no problem throwing this in my pocketbook. It's my Book of Thoth deck right now. But I can actually fit two decks in there. Two decks. I can fit 2 decks. Lovely. I could fit 2 decks in there if I really wanted to. And I do have a few of these bags for taking multiple decks with me out and about. And usually I can totally fit even, I don't know, what else do I have here? Like my little travel notebook for jotting down notes. That won't always go in there. Sometimes it just goes in the other bag, but crystal, you know, whatever the hell you want to throw in there. What I don't do, this is how I store one of the decks that I made, that like pop culture deck. I don't bring things out in bags like this, that anything could sort of seep through. It has to be plasticky and protected. Wandering around with tarot cards can be dangerous. So in trying to come up with some interesting ways to store my mini tarot decks, because they don't fit super well in even the smaller bags like this. Sometimes I'll put it in an organza bag like that, some of these smaller guys. But they're so cute. What I really wanted to do, the very first deck I got, which I'll show you in a sec, the first mini deck I had, was I really wanted to put it in, I don't think Altoids were around back then, but in a tin this size. And it didn't fit in any of the tins I had. Most mini decks don't actually fit in like these Altoid size tins. So I didn't find this until much later, but I'm so happy I did. I have these 2 decks that I keep in here, and what they are is, yeah, there it is. They are tins that bobby pins come in. You can see it says these were gold bobby pins. Did I do it on this one? No, I always thought I might like go through and you know, paint over the bottom or something. I should still do that. But this is, you know, where like the brown bobby pins came in, and this is the blonde. And I thought the pictures on the front didn't they just worked really, really interestingly with something that might store a tarot deck. Like, they look like little goddesses, you know? I dig that. So what I keep in the one with the girl on the girl with the red hair, is my Fairies Tarot deck. This is the first mini deck I ever got. One of the first decks I ever had, too. And this is a Lo Scarabeo mini. It's all triple bagged in there. And they are so friggin' adorable. How great are mini decks? They're just so cute. Mostly pip cards, and the majors are absolutely adorable. Look at that. So cute. And it's so much thicker, so it fits a bagged up, protected tarot deck really, really well. And then in this other one, in the blonde one, I keep the fairies in the red-headed one, because fairies remind me of Celtic things, and she's got red hair, so, you know, duh. And then in the one with the blonde girl, I keep my mini Visconti Tarot, because they have blonde hair. And that's those guys. I did edge this rather messily, actually. This was the first deck I ever tried to edge by not doing them one at a time. I was like, it's just a stupid mini deck. And it like bled onto like the images and the background. It's hard to see in this lighting, but it really is very messy. I did get this deck at first because I just wanted to play with I just wanted to look at the images and play with them, and at the time I didn't have any intention of getting into collecting like historic tarot decks and stuff, so I don't actually use this guy too often, but it's nice to have. It actually is a very readable deck, and that it's so old and amazing. It's the Visconti, you know. Blonde. So that's those two guys. That's the Visconti Sforza and the Fairies Tarot. So speaking of creative storage, let's jump to this guy here. This is my Navigators Tarot that I trimmed a lot. It's actually, I think, probably the next deck that I'm going to review, so that'll be out soon, but they're upside down. Basically trimmed fuck out of them, so they are totally like mini size now, and I absolutely love that. I love how the images pop. I don't regret trimming this deck for a second. I think it is so beautiful like this. I'll talk more about him when we do the review, but what I did to store him, because I trimmed it so much, it was loose in the bag. I didn't love that. I wanted something a little bit sturdier. First of all, I glued one of the extra cards onto it here, and then I blacked out this box. This box is actually what I use electronic cigarettes, and this is what a tank at some point had come in. So I just painted the whole thing black and glued a little extra card backing onto that, and now it is the perfect storage for my newly resized Navigators Tarot, and it still fits great in my little travel bag. So that one was fun to do. And then when he sits in here, you really can't get too out of whack and too beat up. I like that. And then I did decide to keep my mini Orbifold in the box that it came in too, because first of all, it's a beautiful friggin' magnetic box. I just adore the packaging. But let me see that. It's like so pretty on the inside. Wisdom resides within all. And yeah, I really wanted this deck in a mini, so I could just always have it with me. Plus, I mean, all these decks, it's great to have something that you can use with larger spreads when you're working in a small space, or just have a big spread to do, you know. But here's a few of the Orbifold images. Aren't they gorgeous? This is definitely like made its way into my top 10 favorite tarot decks of all time. So beautiful. But this one also fits in my little travel storage bag. I think it's kind of funny, you know, if you have to really be prepared if you are going to wander around with a tarot deck on hand and sit down in some sort of a public space and whip out your tarot deck. If you've never done this before, be prepared. Like, people will flock to you. They will swarm you. They will tell you stories of every experience that they have ever had with a psychic or with a tarot card reader. Or a palm reader. They will definitely almost always ask you for readings. They will ask you how the cards work. So it's an experience, especially if you're sitting in like some public space. Even when I sit out at work, all the girls are always asking me, you know, how does it work? And give me a reading and all this stuff. It's a very sort of strange experience what happens when you take out a tarot deck in front of people. It's kind of cool, actually, but you definitely have to be prepared to deal with that. They're not just going to leave you alone and let you do your thing. It stands out a little too much, you know. Okay, anyway, next up we have, this is my mini Rosetta Tarot that comes in a tin already. I friggin' love it. I just posted a review and a complete walkthrough up of this deck. I even posted a Thoth comparison with this deck, so I'm not going to show too much, but it does come with this ribbon to pull out the deck, and you can put stuff underneath, and I love tins. Oh, they're so good. And this is pretty much the deck I always kind of carry around with me wherever I go. It's a wonderful, wonderful little mini tarot deck. And I love that it just fits the cards like so perfectly. And then this guy here, this is really, I guess this and the Orbifold are the only two decks that I actually keep in their original packaging of like all of my tarot decks, I think. But again, the US Games has been putting out lots of their decks in these little tin versions. I know what is it called? The Morgan Greer is available like this, and the Vanessa Tarot, the Halloween Tarot, there's a whole bunch that come in these great little tins. They're perfect for throwing in your purse and wandering around. Again, I wouldn't just throw this directly in my purse, though, although it's pretty secure. You know, if it bumps into something and just gets knocked open, your cards come flying out, and oh, what a mess that would be. So I still definitely wrap it up in like that plasticky bag that I carry. I don't necessarily love that I can see all the packaging on the outside. This might be another one. Maybe I'll just paint it at some point. But this is your Centennial edition of the Rider-Waite Smith. It's nice to have a standard Rider-Waite Smith to do readings with. Love. It's definitely one of the larger size mini decks, the ones that come in these tins. They're definitely not as teensy-tiny as some of the other mini decks are. So these two here are decks that I also trimmed. I have shown this one. I already have a review up this guy. This is the Sweeney Tarot. It actually feels really similar in size now that I trimmed it down to the US Games tin sized cards. But basically what this was a bridge size tarot deck. They have a full size available also for the Sweeney Tarot, but this is the bridge size. And it was originally bridge size. It had a little bit more on the sides, like these color stripes of color on the sides that I just trimmed off and turned it into kind of a proper mini deck. But this is the Sweeney Tarot, and it is absolutely beautiful, and it fits right in my little storage bag. So this is another one that I trimmed. This is the Cosmic Tarot. You know what? Actually holding it in my hands right now, it doesn't really feel like a mini deck. I kind of lied. I probably shouldn't have included this one here. But this is this guy. He fits really, really well in my little storage bag. So I threw him in here. It's a beautiful deck. I don't carry him around with me too often, but every once in a while to mix things up and go a little 80s feeling, you know? He's fun. Yeah, that one even still fits really good in my smaller satiny bags. What's in here? Oh, this is my latest addition, you guys. So I had a video up about how I made these little altar tins, out of Altoid tins. So what I did was I took my tarot one and I took out, I just leave it in the bag now, I took out the rose quartz I was keeping in there and the little mala bracelet out of the actual tin itself, and it made room for my latest mini tarot deck. That was what the inside of that guy looked like. Those were the magnets, little incense. But anyway, I just showed this guy in my last video too, the special delivery from France, and decided to keep him in there. They are super tiny, they're super cute, and I always wanted a majors only mini deck, and I got it in Marseille style with this beautiful color scale way of going through the major arcana. Aren't they amazing? I have a link to the website where you can order these cards and stuff in that video, that tarot delivery from France, whatever I called it. Aren't they beautiful? Love, love, love these guys. So actually, I think what might even end up happening, instead of carrying that whole the whole tin with me, if I'm gonna have my Rosetta Tarot, maybe I can just put both of them together in that little bag that I have. But for now, I'm trying it out this way, storing them in here. So it actually fits in an Altoid tin. Ta-da! So fun. So that was really it for my mini tarots. I just pulled out a couple other things that are cool because they're like mini style. Lenormand decks and Sibylla decks and playing card decks and all that kind of stuff are really easy to transport around with you because they're smaller in general, you know. But this is the only mini Lenormand that I have. This is the Licuc, it's the one I can never fucking pronounce. Lenormand. I'm gonna write these down below so you guys can find them too. I think it's Licuc, I believe it's spelled. These are my extra cards. I keep them flipped over at the bottom so I can interchange them in and out. But oh my god, how did I show you the backs? They're so pretty. And then this is what they look like. They have this like Victorian kind of old world look to them, with little playing card inserts, no titles. I decided to get it that way. This is a deck that I ordered off the Game Crafter. Aren't they adorable? So I don't always feel the need to carry a Lenormand with me, but if I want to, I have this guy at my disposal. And he actually also really fits nicely, even in all the bags that I have it in here, into an Altoid size tin. So if I need extra protection, you know, he can go in there. This is another playing card deck. This is one that I made. This is the one that came with like the Caitlin Geoffroy majors. Those guys. I don't always leave them in there, but basically without that you have a complete playing card deck, and a really fucking cool one with like lions and peacocks and monkeys and parrots. Beautiful, right? Very, very old looking. Love it. And again, because it's just smaller, it's so great. It's easy to throw in my little pouch, one of my little pouches, and come along for the journey with me. And this is the other one that I've been carrying around a lot lately. I showed it before in the tarot collection update, but this is the little Petit Etteilla that I've been studying and learning, so I do try to keep him around with me lately too. Of course, along with an actual tarot deck, because you always need a tarot deck. But that's those guys. They're like probably, I think it's, I think they're bridge-sized cards, if I'm not mistaken. But even carrying around, you know, a complete 52 card deck like the Hermes Oracle that Robert M. Place one is super easy because they're small. But again, just make sure you guys wrap up your cards really good. So yeah, that about does it for my video response to what's in your wallet. Tarot cards and shit, of course. Ready to go, super protected, super safe. Head on out, read those tarot cards. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.